You are capable, you have a gift, you have a talent, and it's time to put it to use, okay? Find some time, make it happen. I can't want it enough for you. You gotta want it yourself. What's going on? You're listening to episode 24 of the Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Scotty.D.Russell of Perspective Collective. This show is all about encouraging you to pursue your creativity. Whether you work a day job like I do, or you just feel like you don't have the time, or you're too drained to work on the things you want to work on, well, my mission with this show is to convince you to make time to scratch that creative itch. You never know who you could impact when you start sharing your work. This is going to be the third and final part of the series of the benefits to starting a side project in 2017. Again, this was an extension of being inspired from Lauren Hamm's initiative of Your Secret Weapon, a side project in 2017. So I'm just kind of dubbing it up on that and providing it in a different format. So in part one, which was episode 22, I talked about how your side project has greater potential than you think. I shared the story of how my friend Tim Dodd took his silly little side project of becoming the everyday astronaut and he turned it into a full-time business. In part two, which was episode 23, I talked about starting a side project that reflects the type of work you want to get paid to create. This episode spotlights my good friend Ben Haggerty, aka Ben Real vs. World, and how he took his love for music and video and landed some amazing dream clients. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the 3 ingredients for getting more exposure on your side projects. I want to let you know up front that this isn't an overnight success formula. I believe in the marathon mindset and playing the long game. My overall goal for this series is for you to become a little bit more intentional about starting a side project and understanding at the same time that you have to give it some time. It's all about enjoying the creative process along the way, as that's where the most growth happens. So let's get into the show. It may feel impossible to get your work noticed when you're just starting to pursue your creative path. How the hell are you supposed to be getting more exposure, let alone any exposure at all? Believe me, I've been there. I've spent over 25 years of my life believing that having a successful art career was impossible. As I've become more intentional with my side projects and have seen the potential, my mindset has drastically shifted. Think about it. Technology is in your favor if you start today. It's so easy to connect with someone on the opposite side of the globe within seconds. Not to mention that more and more people in the world are getting access to the internet every day. I say it often, but I really do believe that you are one scroll or one swipe away from having your life changed. Creating the right side project or projects and following these 3 ingredients will aid you in getting more exposure on your work. These ingredients are, the first one is research, the second is consistency, and the third is shareability. Obviously, you could say there are way more ingredients, which I would agree with, but I believe that these 3 are great to keep top of mind. Starting off with research. You might get lucky and stumble across an audience waiting to devour your style. However, that's probably not likely, and I'd recommend doing a bit of research to have a plan. I feel the best, yet the most saturated market out there is Instagram for getting your work noticed. It's the top platform for engagement right now, and I've seen many of my friends blow up and create a thriving creative career from it, and I'm going to talk about 2 of them later. No matter the social platform you choose, though, research the best ways to utilize the strengths of the platforms as you share your work. I started using Instagram really seriously close to about 3 years ago when I first became addicted to hand lettering. It started off with me just throwing work out randomly until I noticed there was specific accounts and hashtags that surrounded this type of style of work I was producing. For example, if you're big into the lettering scene, you're very familiar with the monstrous account of Good Type that has well over 725,000 followers, and it's curated by my good friend Brooke Butchery. What's funny is back then, I remember when she had under 10,000 followers, so it's pretty crazy to see the growth. And just a note, since we're talking about side projects, Good Type started off as a side project and has evolved dramatically to become more than just an Instagram account. But I noticed that Brooke was featuring people's lettering work who used the profile hashtags of hashtag good type and hashtag strength in letters, which is kind of the motto of the brand. And when you use these hashtags on your drawings or your lettering posts or even calligraphy, it gets curated where she can go and check those hashtags and pick the ones that she feels stand out the most, and then she'll feature them. So as I began seeing this, I began using those hashtags and really pushing my skills every day, and ended up catching my first feature. Safe to say, I was hooked. I was addicted. This is the first time I really got any notoriety for my work. There are also similar accounts to Good Type, such as the Daily Type and Typespire and even Type Gang. And accounts like this also helped me build my account and get exposure through features as well, with the same strategy of using their hashtag. Another way I approach research is with analytic tools such as business page insights through Instagram. You can turn your account into a business account and start getting analytics through that. Or you can use Iconosquare, which is a third-party app. And these tools show you metrics such as your most liked photos or videos, most commented on photos and videos, least liked photos and videos, least commented on, new versus lost followers per given of time, the best times for posting, the age range of your followers, and the top states or countries following you. So when you can start gathering the research on this and you start developing your own style and knowing what people are engaging with the most, you're setting yourself up to getting a lot more exposure on your work. Next, let's talk about consistency. We live in a microwave era where people expect instant gratification and get discouraged when they don't see immediate results. This used to be me. The reason many creatives get exposure is because they are consistent and people know what to expect. I personally follow accounts on social media strictly because they post work I'm inspired by, obviously, but they're also posting either daily or at a consistent time weekly. So they fall within my routine and I know what to expect. And two of my friends I follow due to their consistent quality work are Bob Ewing and Charlie Prangley. Being consistent has boosted their creative careers outside of their social presence. And first off, I want to talk a little bit about Bob. He began hand lettering around the same time that I did, as he ended up taking on the 365-day challenge, meaning he hand lettered a word for every day of the year. It's a pretty big commitment to take on. And not only did he reach his goal, but he ended up extending it to a whopping 534 consecutive freaking days. That's amazing. That's commitment, that's drive, that's tenacity, that's consistency. And not only did he improve his lettering skills, but he is now considered, I would say, one of the most revered names in a thriving lettering community. And this has led him to getting great lettering projects, public speaking, and workshop opportunities, while also building amazing relationships within the creative community. The other great example of consistency is Charlie. She built her career on YouTube by pumping out insightful content targeted to designers on her YouTube channel, Charlie Marie TV. Over this period of time, she's amassed a following of over 40,000 subscribers. She's been posting 2 videos a week for over 3 years. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that she also co-hosts the Design Life podcast with the talented Femke for over a year now too. But on top of her drive, she is just a genuine and funny human being. Her hard work has landed her major opportunities just like Bob did, and the most recent one that she just got was joining Nathan Barry's ConvertKit staff. As you can see, being consistent over time can make some pretty incredible things happen. All right, finally, we're going into the third ingredient, which is shareability. First off, I'm not talking about focusing on creative, trendy work to go viral. What I'm referring to is creating genuine work that is either funny, relatable, inspiring, or entertaining. Instead of worrying about expensive targeted ads to force feed people your work, products, or services, focus on creating something that can spark an emotion. If you can immediately make someone stop and tag someone in your comments, or repost or retweet your video, or even text a link to their friends with a message like, dude, you've got to see this, you know you're doing something right. An example of this that I stumbled across was a while back. I posted a video called Ketchup Calligraphy. And basically I just made a quote saying, "You're the ketchup to my fries," while spelling ketchup out with a ketchup bottle. And the word fries was made out of actual French fries, some old fries that I had laying over from a McDonald's strip. If you know me, I use a lot of ketchup when I do use ketchup, and this was just a funny concept to express my love for it. And this ended up getting featured by multi-million follower accounts like Art Worldly, and even the entrepreneur influencer Ty Lopez ended up posting this. And what made it even better is that they prompted people in the description to tag someone who is the ketchup to their fries. Next thing you know, you have hundreds of people getting tagged to see this post. Then all the traffic directs back to my account. So that's just mad exposure that I got off that one silly little piece that people could relate to. And here's a quick tip. When you catch on to your work that is getting shared the most on Instagram, start experimenting by giving people prompts to tag someone who can relate below in the comments, or tag someone who this reminds you of. I think you'll be surprised with the results. And by focusing on work that is shareable, it may very well go viral across social. However, don't create solely to go viral, as you're setting yourself up for defeat. I've tried to make little videos in the past that I thought would go viral because I saw other people doing similar stuff. And, I came out extremely disappointed. I was forcing my creativity. I was creating work that, was trying to please other people. And it just didn't feel right. It didn't settle well because I was forcing it. So that's why I just want to encourage you to create work that resonates with you, that can leave an emotional impression on an audience. So as I wrap this up, getting more exposure takes time. I've seen people blow up over a year, and then there's people like me who have been chipping away over the course of, right now, probably 3 years for me. These things take time, but I've noticed that the ones who blew up more quickly than I have, they knew their research, they knew their audience, and they were posting more shareable work more often than I was. And more power to them. I'm not jealous. I'm learning more and more as I go, and I'm sharing what I learn along the way with you. And these 3 ingredients I'm sharing right now, this is the kind of stuff that I wish someone was sharing with me when I was just beginning Perspective Collective a couple years ago. This is the kind of encouragement that I needed to realize, this stuff takes time to get out of that microwave symptom of feeling like I need to blow up overnight. And it's rare to watch a side project blow up overnight. And that's why I stress the long game, as I found the most fulfillment within the creative process. And I enjoy the daily challenge of building this into something greater than myself. So I want to ask you, what's that side project you've been wanting to pursue? And what's holding you back? And if this is something you want to share with me one-on-one, if it's something I can walk you through, feel free to shoot me an email, scotty@perspective-collective.com. I'm here to help the best I can. I'm no expert, but I'm here to serve my creative audience. I'm here to serve you. And there's never been a better time than now to start. And technology is playing in your favor down the road as more and more people get access to the work that you're sharing. So scratch that creative itch and start your side project today. Wow, it's been a pretty intense 3-part series for me, as I have created a lot of this leading up to surgery. I edited a lot of this during my surgery. I'm recording this one about 90% recovered from surgery. I just got back to work this week, just got cleared to finally go back to the gym. And it's been a very stressful last month for me. And, I have been full of doubt. I've been a little depressed. I've been a massive creative slump, and I'm just finally starting to work my way out of it. I haven't been Scotty lately, and that's why next week I want to go into an episode topic of pulling yourself out of a creative funk, as I feel like me getting a little bit more transparent and showing you the struggles I personally deal with too, and letting you know that life isn't just a highlight reel that you're going to see on social media. And I really think it's going to help some of you who are dealing with some of the same situational instances like I am, the same issues of being depressed and being in a creative slump. Otherwise, I hope you found a lot of value in this 3-part series. This is the year to start a side project. I can't stress it enough. Side projects have changed my life. I've watched them change so many of my friends' life. And you are capable. You have a gift. You have a talent. And it's time to put it to use. Okay? Find some time. Make it happen. I can't want it enough for you. You got to want it yourself. If you're finding value in this episode or in the podcast at all, the best way you can give back all you have to do is just leave a review within iTunes. It means the world to me. I'm very thankful for everybody who's taken the time to write one so far. It takes 2 seconds. It helps the show get discovered. It kind of puts a little pep in my step as well, knowing that I'm doing something that has a purpose. Otherwise, share the show with a friend, share it on social media, whatever. I appreciate your time and just sharing the good word with someone else. If you want to find me, you can find me online at perspective-collective.com. And I recently started an Instagram page to post solely the show artwork, because each week I put a lot of time into creating the artwork image for each episode. And you can find that on Instagram at perspectivepodcast.com. You can find it over at Instagram. Just look up Perspective Podcast. And finally, in April, I'm going to be teaching a workshop on how to craft a killer talk at Creative South. Tickets are on sale now. It would be awesome to have you first just attend Creative South, because that place is magical. It's changed my life. And then second, attend my workshop. I'm going to help you craft a killer talk and get comfortable with speaking in public. Not only just public speaking, but podcasting, doing videos, teaching, whatever. And then in April 20th and 21st, I will be in Baton Rouge at Crop Conference, and I will be speaking on Friday, and there's still Friday tickets available too. As always, I want to thank you for lending me your time and lending me your ears. I just want to encourage you to continue to show up, keep putting in the work, and keep creating. You've got this.